looking at it right now, and it just looks great. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. It looks awesome. Okay, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 5 of Friends with Spider-Man podcast. It's Michael, Ben, and Steven, and we're here bringing you the review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 this week. So, how's everyone doing?
What's up?
Good.
We were just talking for like 20 minutes, okay, so we all
20
caught
minutes,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, I mean, 4th of July weekend. Not when this is coming out, that was last week, but how was y'all's 4th of July?
Yeah.
We'll put predictions in.
Dude, I hope everybody had a great time, you know?
Yeah.
Predictions? I'm not gonna remember it.
Probably not, yeah. We'll see,
The
I guess.
plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steven, are there any new leaks? I heard Sadie Sink didn't even know she had the role until she hit the internet and saw that she
Yeah,
was
I think it was either Jimmy Fallon maybe when she was on. She was talking about how, I think this is low-key like a while ago though, she was talking about it. She didn't know she got a role in the film until she was on like Twitter or something, and she saw a lot of people saying that she's in the film, and then eventually like she got the call.
yeah. Also,
That's pretty chill.
they just released that she got the part without even auditioning, which is pretty
Mhm.
crazy. So
Yeah.
we can kind of figure out that's typecasting and
For
who
sure.
looks like Sadie Sink, right? So we're getting closer and closer to the release date. We're all gonna be right. We know who she's playing.
Watch it
And
not be Jean Grey. I'm
watch,
sorry.
watch.
If it's not Jean Grey,
It's
I'm
just a
actually
different
gonna
MJ.
laugh.
It's like, oh,
Could you
If
imagine?
it's Gwen,
be crazy.
No.
No, they can't do that. That's just not allowed. You can't cast a redhead to play a blonde girl. That's like insane.
Well, they did it before.
Yeah, they've done it before. They did it with Bryce Dallas Howard, right? Actually,
No, they did it with Emma Stone.
is she a redhead too?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because that's the joke is Kristen is a blonde, but she played a redhead, and then Emma's a
Right.
redhead
Oh
and
my
played the blonde.
gosh.
La
That's
La
so
Land.
impressive.
Remember La La Land?
Yeah. True.
Mm-hmm.
She's a redhead. I thought she was a brunette, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
I
Yeah,
didn't
she's
know she
redhead.
was like actually a redhead till like a year or two ago.
That would make sense
Yeah.
though. But yeah, and I guess we can. Is there any other news that we want to talk about with
Just some like little things. It's really
Yeah.
starting to dwindle down now that we're getting closer because less and less can be revealed without actually spoiling big parts. We already knew this, but Tombstone's going to be in it because of the Lego set release that came out with him and the damage control truck. But we did just get a first look at Tombstone recently. I think it's a poster on Ned's wall of like Spider-Man. I think that's where it's from. So first look at him. I'm excited to see what kind of
Ooh, yeah,
role
that's
he has within the
creepy.
film. If it's going to be like a major role or kind of like
Yeah.
a side thing that'll be developed throughout.
Yeah, I've always liked Tombstone as a villain, and I've always wondered why it's taken this long for them to actually incorporate him into a Spider-Man film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the part he plays in the video game. And he
Yeah.
has the whole. Actually, I know there's the whole mission with MJ. I know he's in the second one too. You end up saving him or something.
Yeah.
Is he in one of the expansions for the first one, or is it all Hammerhead?
I didn't play any of the expansions for the first
Oh, really?
Nah, yeah.
I think it's just Hammerhead in that one.
because I game shared to play the first one with my
Mm.
buddy.
Okay.
So I got to play the original PS4 version and not
Yeah.
the remastered with the new face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
cool.
I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah.
And this is actually, I went down a huge rabbit hole. I don't know if y'all know about the character Jean the Wolf.
I heard.
So, there's a run with Peter in the symbiote suit that revolves around her. Her character is pretty much like Yuri from the video games. Yuri was inspired by her So there's elements of her taken in, and then Jean's brother in the comics is Wraith, who Yuri ends up becoming in the second video game. So she's tied to them, but she's like kind of that cop that is like the tie-in between Peter and the police department. They end up getting very, very close. I forget who the villain is, but she ends up dying. Peter has the symbiote suit when this happens. So because she dies and he's in the symbiote suit, and they were very close, he ends up like totally freaking out and like goes on a like a citywide manhunt for the villain who killed Jean. And then he ends up finding the villain. But this is what really excites me, is he goes to kill the villain, but then Daredevil comes in and they have a whole fight between symbiote suit Spider-Man and Daredevil over him about to kill this villain.
That would be cool.
That would be so perfect.
So a lot of people think that because they just confirmed this character, they're going to do that storyline where she dies, which then pretty much confirms that we're getting a Daredevil eventually and the symbiote suit's coming.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
I would absolutely love to see a Daredevil Spider-Man team up. And I was kind of shocked when they did Spider-Man and the Punisher. I really thought they would have done Spider-Man and Daredevil first.
Mm-hmm.
But if we see a Daredevil versus symbiote suit Spider-Man, and it's really Matt trying to like talk him out of like killing this dude,
mm-hmm.
That is so perfect, especially for the portrayal of Daredevil that they've been doing in Born Again.
Yep.
Because like even think like every time we see Daredevil and Punisher in Born Again, Matt's is always like, Frank, you don't gotta like kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like obviously Daredevil will beat the crap out of people until they're unconscious, but he never delivers that final blow, even when it comes to Fisk.
Yeah.
So just having that moral stance against Spider-Man in the symbiote suit would be a very, very good storyline to go with.
And then the last thing I have for this week is, and I don't know how true this one is yet, but I saw a few accounts going around and saying that Spider-Man 5 is officially in the works. I don't know how much I believe that because of how long it usually takes between them, but I also know that they took a long time writing this one.
Yeah.
So
maybe they're writing them somewhat consecutively, like maybe they're...
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it's gonna come.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially because Tom's schedule isn't as busy because he's not going to be in Doomsday that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
That we know of, Tom's not in Doomsday. So as far as like his schedule that we know of, obviously we're not his agents. We don't know what else he's got going on. But he's not announced to be in any other movies. Like this summer, he's got a lot. He's got a lot going on.
I was gonna say he's not in another Odyssey movie. So
right. I want to talk about the Odyssey and Brand New Day after this, but I definitely think it's possible because I would much rather them sit down, take their time with the script, and put out a good script instead of just rush a Spider-Man movie just because it's Spider-Man. They know it's going to make
working
money.
right now. Yeah.
Right, but so back to the Odyssey and Brand New Day. I don't know if you guys heard this, but do you guys remember that Brand New Day got postponed or production got delayed because Tom was in the Odyssey? So when they came back from that delay and Tom was like done the Odyssey, he basically told like everybody involved, he's like, hey, they do a lot of stuff with these Nolan films that works really well, and we should try to apply that to Brand New Day. So, even though it's not the same universe, the Odyssey filmmaking is going to affect the filmmaking of Brand New Day.
Awesome.
Which I love, especially because it's a Nolan film.
Mm-hmm.
Name one bad Nolan film. Obviously, some are better than the others, but you know, I'm excited. I heard that and I was like, we're set.
Yeah. Anything to kind of take these movies and help other people outside the fan bases realize that these have the same sort of potential as any other film. Just because they have that genre of superhero shouldn't really take away from the stories that are being told. 'Cause some of them are really good stories, outside of the fact that it's superheroes.
Right.
I guess in an interview, someone asked Tom about Miles, and he said he really wants to bring Miles Morales into the MCU. So I was like, okay, maybe they really are starting to work on it. So
I would love to see Miles Morales brought into the MCU. I think it's perfect. Especially if we got like say Spider-Man 5. He's kind of like a little side character or something. And come Spider-Man 6, it's kind of similar to how the Spider-Man 2 game was. I think that would be perfect. And then say that's the end of Tom as Spider-Man and it just goes on with Miles. I would be fine with that. I think that's a great progression of the character.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to be selfish, though, and I want this whole trilogy, because I really want this trilogy to be stuff that we haven't seen been done yet with Spider-Man. And then I want another trilogy after this, where maybe it's Tom's the main focus of, say, 7. 8, you bring in Miles. 9 is just Miles.
Yeah, I could also see that.
Because I really want to see... I would really love to see 5 be a whole symbiote suit dilemma and be able to just focus on that without that pressure of, okay, we have to bring in Miles and we want to do him justice, but we also want to include Daredevil, and eventually I would love to see Spider-Man interact with the Fantastic Four, but I don't really want that to like breach in on... There's just so many other things.
Yeah.
That kind of wraps up all of our fresh off the press kind of news that we got, which means we can move into the offset kind of portion for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is, of course, today's film that we're going to be reviewing. I thought there was going to be a lot more than what I found, but I also could have just ended up knowing a lot of it already, so I didn't put it in. The first is that production, or kind of, not production, in August 2011, which is just about a year before the first one even came out, Sony announced a sequel was going to be coming out for it. Which I did not know that at all. That's actually pretty crazy. But I guess we kind of just had that happen if these rumors of Spider-Man 5 being in the works is true.
Yeah.
Shailene Woodley was cast as this universe Mary Jane, which we talked about a little bit last episode. What I didn't know is that she had some scenes filmed for this one done already, but they ended up being cut. I thought that she was going to be introduced in the third one.
Yeah, they filmed scenes for the second one. And then it just didn't make the final cut.
I guess that's where those... Because I remember there's like a photo of her with a motorcycle, and I think Peter's in it too. I guess that is from this film and not... I thought it was always just production for the third.
Yeah. I'll let you finish, but there was also a major scene that they cut from this film.
They cut a lot from this film.
Yeah.
Emma Stone wrote Gwen's graduation speech. Didn't know that.
That's cool.
This is the first Spider-Man film to be filmed entirely in the state of New York, which just makes sense.
Yeah. I'm shocked it's the first one.
The final clock tower battle was actually filmed inside of a clock tower. And it was like super hot, apparently, while they were filming. The Goblin suit weighed 50 pounds and couldn't be opened without power tools. So between that and filming in the super hot clock tower, they were constantly checking on the actor of Harry for the first day. Then the second day, they actually went in and fixed the suit around to make it so that it could cool him down while he was filming.
That's cool.
He already looked like he was sweating his balls off
Yeah.
while he was in the
Yeah.
suit. So
He looked awful.
yeah.
This is the first Spider-Man film to not showcase new scenes of Uncle Ben. Because the
Wow.
other ones, they would add more stuff to it.
Yeah.
I always love when they
Good.
do these kind of things. The time that the clock tower spins to, when it's like breaking and everything, it's like 1:20 or 1:30 something, is the issue where Gwen dies. And then this I knew a little bit about. The death scene and the ending of the film, there's a bunch of different takes that they ended up going with. Some that were ultimately going to change the rating of the film, and then some that were just a little more laid back than what we got. But then obviously they chose the one that we see in the film now. But those are kind of like the big things I had written down about behind the scenes, offset kind of stuff. I remember personally going to see this film. I don't know if you guys do or did see this one
do.
in the theaters.
I remember this. I think I was in. It was like the day after or it was the day my like first grade year ended. My last day of school. Me and my dad
Mhm.
went to the movie theater and went to see this movie, and it was pretty cool, honestly.
Mhm.
Well, it was 2014 though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was second grade, but still,
I don't remember
whatever.
what grade I was in.
It
I don't
was.
either.
It was good.
I didn't see this one in theaters, and
Yeah.
I do kind of kick myself because I wish I saw it in theaters.
It was brutal.
I said it last episode, but I don't remember if I actually kept it in the cut or not. This one, I don't know why, and I meant to ask my parents before they just left. We didn't buy tickets beforehand, but of course I wanted to go see it opening night because people were already telling me. I remember I was like on the playground and people were like, "Oh, Gwen's gonna die. Gwen's gonna die." I was like, "No, it's not gonna happen." So then I was like, "We have to go see it." I think we went to like 3 or 4 different theaters, and of course they're all sold out because it's opening night for a Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
But luckily we got into one.
Back to a little bit of what was cut and not. Do you guys know about the ending with his dad?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the cemetery.
Yeah, how they were gonna like reveal that like his dad was like alive
Mm-hmm.
the whole time, just like in hiding and stuff, and they cut it.
That would have been crazy if they
lot
did
of-
that.
There's a lot of debate whether or not they should have kept that.
Yeah, I actually have the whole kind of Richard Parker storyline as something we can discuss about the whole trilogy as a whole because it is such a big part of this series.
Yeah,
Which is honestly kind of like it's interesting. It gives the movie, um, yet another plot line to
Mhm.
explore, but at the same time, I feel like it distracts from the whole point of Spider-Man, which is that anybody could be Spider-Man, and the
Mhm.
fact that like if anyone else was bitten by that spider, they would have turned into what Harry turned into in this movie was kind of like I feel like a little bit of it was a little like sidestep in the wrong direction of what you wanted from Spider-Man. But I mean, he played his part perfectly. That's
Mhm.
not what I'm saying. It's just more like the concept of it doesn't really make as much sense in my head.
I'm iffy about the whole Richard Parker storyline thing. I think it's interesting because we've never seen like Peter's parents explored
Mm-hmm.
in these films. So I definitely think it gives some insight to, Peter's childhood and who his parents really were. But also, it adds like this plot line that's kind of necessary, kind of unnecessary. I mean, the whole opening to this film, where they show like how his parents died, I feel like that could have been something added to the first film.
Okay.
But I get why it's in the second film because of the whole Roosevelt project and stuff like that. But I mean, then you got Peter going on this whole quest trying to figure out stuff about his dad. which a lot of people don't like. I personally find it interesting because, Peter's trying to figure out more about his parents and his, background, like who his parents were, like what he really came from, and how they tie it into, his dad working with Norman Osborn, and the whole project with the spiders and stuff like that. Really explains how more in depth of how the spider biting him gives him his powers and the cross species genetics of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like it. I kind of find it interesting. I don't think it needed to be a big portion of this film like it was.
Uh-huh.
I do think it kind of took up a little too much time.
I agree.
But personally, like, I like it.
It definitely sets it apart from the other two because, it's like you guys said, they don't talk about this in either of them.
Yeah.
We barely ever get to know anything about Peter's parents.
You don't even know about Uncle Ben in the home trilogy. So, it's very much a mystery.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it'll remain that way?
Yeah.
They won't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I think
they shouldn't.
I think going forward, it's not going to be
important.
It's not going to. Yeah, it's not going to be important.
They made Aunt May that kind of role for Peter throughout, which I think is fine.
I think instead of Peter reflecting on, his parents or Uncle Ben, going forward, I think it's going to be Peter reflecting on Andrew Spider-Man and Toby Spider-Man, because now they've all met, and now he's learned so much from them, and I really think it's going to be Tom's Spider-Man taking what he learned from them and putting it towards his own personality and how he is as Spider-Man, just to be the best Spider-Man that he can possibly be.
Yeah.
Well, there is that theory of in Iron Man 2, he saves that kid.
Yep.
With the helmet that Peter's parents took him there, and then they died there in the MCU.
Was it that kid?
Really?
I think that being Peter was confirmed, but the whole parent part was not.
That was confirmed. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. That's interesting. That'd be interesting. Well, bro, that would just make a whole another Iron Man villain. Watch. I hate Iron Man because my parents died in this, and everybody hates him.
I would like for Tom's Peter to mention that, because the only confirmation we have is from Marvel themselves. There's no confirmation inside the films. So if you're not deep into what Marvel says is confirmed or not, you have no idea
that's him. Yeah,
that's him. So for the general audience, I feel like a confirmation from Tom's Peter needs to happen, just to kind of clear the air and really officially put it in place and solidify the fact that it was him.
But that means we can officially move into our review and thoughts about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm really hyped to hear what y'all have to say about this. I'm scared for your rankings because I realized when I was watching, I was like, okay, there's actually way too much nostalgia for me going on into this. But we'll get there when we get there. Let's first talk about the review. I kind of have everything in order of when it appears this time. That way, hopefully, we won't get too out of control here. We're too far ahead of each other. So first, obviously, we kind of talked about that whole intro scene with Peter's parents. I want to talk about their storyline a little bit later. First, I want to talk about, obviously, the iconic intro swing.
Very iconic.
I love this intro swing so much. It is probably my all-time favorite swinging scene that we have gotten in a Spider-Man film.
It is my favorite intro to a film.
Yes. And
it's so cool.
To tell you how much I loved this scene, over quarantine, I had a Windows laptop, and I had it hooked up to my monitor which is right by my camera right now. And I had this thing. It was like a wallpaper app or something. And you could set
Wallpaper engine?
Yes, wallpaper engine.
I went through the same kind of phase through quarantine.
And I literally had this scene playing as my wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
It was just on a loop, just as my wallpaper.
Yeah. I mean, still, just the fade from black to his logo and then his back, it's just...
And the music.
Yeah.
Oh
the
my
music
god.
too.
Oh, it's like in my head right now. It's so good.
Yeah.
The visuals, first, the visuals of these films are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. The best visuals of a Spider-Man film.
Mm-hmm.
And
Marc Webb did an excellent job with that.
oh,
Yeah.
100%.
He
And
has a lot of fun with his films. They're very experimental. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they're bringing in a lot of the visual effects team from these films for Brand New Day. That in itself just gets me excited.
It's great. They're doing everything right so far.
They are. But this open swing scene is so fun and so visually appealing to like anyone. You know, you get him, you know, jumping off high buildings, swinging through the city. You know, he's fighting Alexei, who we towards the end of the film ends up becoming the Rhino and stuff like, which I love that tie back for the whole film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, how he's late for graduation and stuff like that. I could talk about this scene forever. I could take it frame by frame.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect way to bring both your characters and then literally the audience as well dive straight right into the action.
Right. And I wish we kind of got more of that. Like, just kick it off with such a high octane scene for a film. And I'm hoping we get more of that with Brand New Day.
I think we will.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
The director is the same guy that did Shang-Chi,
Mm-hmm.
which you guys saw Shang-Chi, right?
Yes, I saw that in theaters. Not on
Yeah.
release though, but
Yeah. The action and visuals of that film. First off, that film I think is severely underrated. There are some parts where the visual effects are a little shaky or whatever, but modern Marvel, you're going to find them with almost every film. But the action and majority of the visuals are stunning, and the fact that we're now that director is now getting the character of Spider-Man is a perfect fit. Not only is he getting a Spider-Man film, but he's doing it with the same visual effects team that did these Amazing Spider-Man movies and Jackie Chan's stunt team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just a perfect recipe for phenomenal action sequences, and I feel like that's a big thing with Spider-Man. Or those action sequences and swinging scenes, and you know the fact that they're using practical swinging for this film is another big aspect that I'm super excited for.
Yeah.
for sure, me too.
I mean, also the score to this movie. I mean, the Electra theme, the Electra Suite, is one of the best villain themes in my opinion. Sounds like House of Balloons by The Weeknd. But like it's so like, I don't know, just it carries throughout the film too. You know, it ebbs and flows. It's quieter in some parts it gets really loud. Jamie Foxx's Electro, really entertaining. He's really blue. And then obviously the scenes with Andrew and Emma are excellent, and their chemistry is crazy, and it's really, really fun. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie that's just fun is like where the guys are trying to get Gwen in the office because she's accessing like
Yes.
secret files, and he's just like screwing around with the coffee and does the leg
So
kick,
good.
and it's just so like So it's so fire. I love it so much. It's great. And that's Peter Parker when he's fun. That's like Spider-Man, you know, it's just how fun it is. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking we're gonna get this summer mostly, so.
I love seeing the scenes where it's Peter Parker using his abilities of Spider-Man, but
Yep.
he's not actually Spider-Man.
When he's not in the suit.
That's I like that more than regular Spider-Man hot take. Like I like
Mhm.
Peter Parker more than Spider-Man because I think it's
Yeah.
more it's
Like
just
I
entertaining.
like I love like seeing like the scenes where we see Peter use like his webs for just like everyday stuff. Like in this film, when he's like working in his shed trying to figure out his webs against Electro, and he
Yes.
goes
Dude, those
and his
scenes
phone
are
starts
so
That
ringing.
fun.
montage.
Yes, and he's like sleeping like on the ceiling or whatever, and his phone starts ringing, and he goes to like web up his phone, and he misses, and he has like
When
a
you like break something, yeah.
like just like that like small little stuff, because also I feel like, especially for me, um, you think like if I was Spider-Man, you know, I would be using my webs to do everything.
I can't tell you how many times throughout my day I'll be like, damn, if I had a web right now.
Right. Like honestly, a habit that I have um I've absorbed since I was a kid was when I go to throw my clothes into my hamper, I will literally go I will literally just go throw it and web. Like
Really?
it every single time. Now I need to get my hat.
Nice shirt, Ben.
The suit, obviously. We've definitely talked about this one a little bit throughout each episode. I think it's a lot of people's top, for sure.
I will die on that hill. It is the best live action Spider-Man suit that we have seen.
I have a hot take. I think, and I'm mad I wasn't here for last week. I know nobody likes the suit for the Amazing Spider-Man, but I think the Amazing Spider-Man suit has like infinitely more like just aura to it than
We actually,
any suit.
both, me and Ben were talking about, we really like the suit. It's just, its huge downfall is the eyes.
I think the eyes are cool. I think it's like intimidating. I think it's like, in my opinion, it's the closest to like how Batman had the Dark Knight suit, right? And so the Dark Knight suit is not accurate to like any comic whatsoever. Not really. I mean, not to like just a bat suit in general. And you know, it's very armored and like, but it looks so cool. Like it just looks so tough. Like I have a figurine of it, and it's just such a sick suit. Like the way it like the armor plating and all that, like just it just like goes together perfectly. It's ooh, it's so good. And the same thing with like the Amazing Spider-Man, like the scene where he lands and like hits
The tower.
the building, and oh, it's just and it's so cool. I don't know. I just feel like it's just, and then he's just like an asshole with it, but he's like screwing around with all the villains and stuff, and like all
It's
the
definitely,
guys. I enjoyed it the most. I know this one's really fun, but and obviously this one's like better, more comic accurate. I just think the other one holds more. Like I think this one's more like it's better, but the other one's
the other
more.
one was,
I'd rather
was a
the
lot
other
more
one.
fun to me, too.
Like I'd rather wear the other one. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree. I'm going to be super nitpicky for a second. Obviously, this suit is, I think it, the other day I thought about it perfectly. And of course now I can't remember it. I like this suit because it is Spider-Man. To me, something with the either the face mask or the shell underneath it, it just is, or the eyes placement or something just feels a little off to me. I think maybe either they're a little too big or they're a little too on the side. That makes me like other suits more. I appreciate how much this one is comic accurate for what we've had so far. But I think kind of like what Mike was saying, I like a more fun suit
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
too.
And oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
I'm gonna mention the face shell a little bit because I totally see what you're saying. Like it does kind of make
Something's just off.
his head kind of look a little big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I turn my camera a little bit, you can kind of get a glimpse of it right there, and it does
Yeah.
it
Trying to
does
see
kind
it like
of
Funko Pops.
make his head look big, like especially like the shots where you see it from the side.
Yeah,
Like it's like
the
his
side
little-
where he's on the tower, kind of looking down at Gwen, is what is always in my
Yeah.
head of something.
You know
it's
what
just
it does?
off.
I think the eyes are so wide that it makes his head look smushed.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
what I see.
I could see that, but also
yeah.
I feel like with what we see in the Brand New Day suit, there's not much of a shell under that mask.
Yes, I noticed there's either in a video or a still, I saw his ears.
Right, which is an interesting take, especially because I feel like a lot of the suits kind of focus on being that just like, especially when it comes to head, just like that slim,
Slick. Yep.
kind of thing. So, but it's very interesting to see them kind of go without a shell.
I think it just makes so much sense because, I mean, again, if these characters are real, you're not going to have a shell on underneath.
Right.
So it literally was just an aspect to make it look better on the camera.
Right.
I'm
Which I
looking
mean-
at it right now, and it just looks great. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I already know I preferred this new one from Brand New Day more than The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Like I said, I mean, I bought the figure for this like years ago when it was still like, this is Brand New Day. Like, it still has like the
No Way
shininess,
Home
but
Final
like,
Swing, yeah.
yeah, but I'm like, I love this suit. Like, this suit is dope, man. I mean, it looks so sick.
I have a hot take with the Final Swing No Way Home suit.
Hit us.
I don't like how shiny the blue is.
Really?
I don't like the
I-
metallic-y look.
I
of it.
agree. I'm glad that it's not for this entire film. I'm
Right.
okay with how, like, I don't mind because it's the final swing. I knew leaving that theater, something's going to change from that suit. I didn't really like the shiny either. So I also agree.
You know, I was kind of hoping it would stay. I wanted to see something different, but
I think it'll stay for like the beginning of the film.
Yeah. In one of the other episodes I was talking about, I mean, I have that Funko Pop, and it literally says on the box, No Way Home Final Swing damaged. So I think we're going to see it.
Yeah,
it'd
we
be
definitely will.
destroyed.
Because he's not
Mhm.
just gonna automatically have a new suit. I think they're gonna do that transition where it gets damaged, worn down, and everything like that, and then he makes a
Yeah.
new
yeah,
suit.
it's a- yeah.
But they're barely different, which is how it should be. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like in Spider-Man, his suit gets like destroyed, and then he wears it again, and it's the same suit.
The same
Supposed to
thing.
be the same suit. It just he fixes it.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
I agree.
I guess I wanted to just say before. I just want to also say that I think the best suit we've ever gotten on screen is from Spider-Verse. That's like got to be the best suit. I mean, it's just, I don't know. To me, like the proportions, I love like that. That's Spider-Man to me. But like Tom Holland's, Stark suit is really cool.
Are you talking about Miles Morales' suit or Peter?
No, Peter B. Parker's suit. So tough. Also, the beer belly really adds to it. I'm not gonna lie. Super, super cool.
Yeah.
But like just that Peter Parker, like when they're showing like the montage of him, like that's so cool to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great suit.
We talked about Peter kind of throughout. I said it last week, and then this film more to me. This is Peter Parker to me. I think Andrew does an absolutely amazing job at the character. I think he makes him so much fun, but still that kind of Peter Parker isn't like a popular kid or super like well known or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's smart. He's kind of a jerk, and he always has something to say.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely plays Peter Parker very well. The one thing that I wish he just had another appearance, especially at graduation. Was we didn't get anything of Flash in the second film,
Yeah.
and you know,
I said it last week too. That is my favorite iteration of Flash.
yeah. I wish we just got like maybe one more scene of their interaction. Just kind of like send him off because he kind of just disappears after the first film.
Yeah.
But still, that iteration, I love how like in the beginning, he is like that bully that we all know. And then when Uncle Ben dies, he goes up to like say sorry to Peter, and Peter's just like getting ready to throw hands. It does kind of show like Flash is like this big bully, but when it comes to like that serious stuff, he's got a heart underneath all that shell. But I wish we just saw a little bit more. I mean, I know it's kind of hard with this film because it starts off with the graduation. You don't see them like in school or anything like that, but maybe just like one more like small jab, at the graduation ceremony.
Isn't there actually a deleted scene between Flash and Gwen? Or am I making that up? Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's he like goes over to Gwen to like kind of thank her because they are tutors. She's tutoring him.
He's in their grade, right?
Yeah. I could actually be 100% making this up.
And also,
oh no. Yeah, Flash's graduation deleted scene. I can see the back of his head.
I was also gonna say, I think this is the smartest version of Peter Parker.
I think we see them utilize his smarts the most in this series.
I agree.
I think
I would say in terms of intelligence, it maybe it's Tom's, but Toby's is definitely last, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think, seeing Andrew's Spider-Man work on his suit to try to improve it to fight Electro definitely shows,
his
higher
intelligence.
And also a lot in the first film.
Definitely the first film.
But I will say, I feel like Tom's Spider-Man does also show that higher IQ, just because we see not only him like build his own suit in Far From Home, which I love that scene where he's like talking about like the variabilities and stuff like that, is great, but also mainly No Way Home when he's back there with the fabricator. The Stark Tech fabricator, and he's working on and stuff like that.
That was cool.
He makes his own web fluid. Where this one, he's just buying it from Oscorp,
and then he flexes it on Tony Stark too, and he's like, "How'd you make that?" And he's like, "I made it." He's like, "Who was making it for you?" "I made it." And he's like, it's just honestly. Because in the comics, he's like not quite Reed Richards level, but he's on that level.
Yeah.
And another scene
obviously Tony Stark.
Yeah, another scene that just popped into my head was Tom's first appearance in Civil War, when he's fighting Captain America, and he's talking about the shield, and he's talking about like the wind flexibility ratio of the shield, how it does not obey the laws of physics.
Or even the fight with Doctor Strange in Brand New Day. He's talking about geometry.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
that was...
Yeah.
That scene was a little cringy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he was just ripping, like... I took geometry, like, a year before that, and he was just, like, ripping geometry lingo that's just... Like, he was just buzzwording, like, all over that scene.
Yeah.
And he was doing, like, pi and things like that, and he was like calculating the circumference of, and I'm like, dude, like, get out of here, bro, like, this is cringy.
But like that's like how annoying Spider-Man is supposed to be. That's why I really like that scene.
And I love that it shows that he's using his intelligence throughout the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just think he didn't have to like go ahead and say it because he went and
Didn't have
made.
to shove it all in our
Uh,
faces.
yeah, it's just
We kind of a little bit about Electro. I think it was a cool modern take, just like everything else with these films. I hope that if we see Electro again, we get more of a classical approach to it.
Yeah, and he's not blue.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really mind the blue, but we saw modern. Now I want faithful.
I don't know how they do that though. Like, gotta be honest with you, like there's so many characters that have like BS costumes.
Oh, I mean, I honestly don't think we're going to see Electro again, so I think it's fine.
I don't think we're gonna see Electro again. But the one thing that I wish we had more of with live action Electro was more of that yellow, which we saw in No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I love about Electro, and I talk about Spectacular Spider-Man a lot, is that kind of yellow. You know, he's got like
Headpiece.
yeah,
The mask, yeah,
both
it's
of them out here, which you actually do see for
a split
like,
second.
a split second in No Way Home, and I wish we kind of just saw more,
Of it.
you know, like a suit like that.
He's like an arc reactor on his chest too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Now, my biggest issue with this film, and what I think really brings this film down, is Harry Osborn and his storyline.
yeah,
Very rushed. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, it was creepy. It was like, all the things it should have been, but it was rushed. And he's also like a 19-year-old little shit. And
He
like,
just looks like he's from One Direction. Doesn't
dude, yeah.
work.
He's a good actor, don't get me wrong, but like, just,
he was in Oppenheimer.
Was he?
Yeah, at the when they're all sitting down at like
Does
the
he have a
round
better
table,
haircut?
like that black and white scene.
I mean, he's older. Like, he's
Yeah,
significantly older. I think he's in his 40s now, probably.
but no, when I was watching this, I realized that the Harry Osborn story arc in this film is pretty much a copy and paste of what we see in Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Kind of.
Kind of,
Kind of. They made all the same mistakes, but
which, like, I get, you know, like, he needs, like, Spider-Man's blood or whatever. And
he's like, I need your blood. He's like, you're a fraud, Spider-Man. And I'm like, dude,
He
chill.
does like that exact same voice too. I hate it.
yeah,
'Cause he like goes from like, he just goes from like sounding like a normal kid, and then he's like, I'm like, dude, chill, bro.
Yeah, no, but I definitely think that Harry's character in this film has a lot going on. He, you know, becomes like the heir to Oscorp, or, you know, when his dad dies, and then at the same time, he's also transitioning into Green Goblin. And my one problem with it is that Harry's transition to Green Goblin with the sickness that his dad died from is a lot faster than what his dad had. You know,
All of a sudden, his dad's dying from it for years. All of a sudden, Harry's got 2 days.
yeah,
Well,
Harry's got 2
so
days.
what
He's already showing like the scales on his neck and whatnot. And he's like, what, like 19, 20 years old in this film? Yeah, we see his dad. I did the math actually when I was watching the film. When his dad died, he was 63. And it took, what, 63 years for that to fully, like, catch up to him and give him those long nails. And, you know, we see him and he's actually, like, showing the scales and stuff. And Harry's showing it at 20. I feel like that was definitely rushed just so we could have Harry as Green Goblin in that final fight. I also am not a big fan of the how he portrayed the character
Dane DeHaan.
Harry.
Yeah, I think okay, two things. First, um I think like there's a scene that in my mind always like he like had some like injection or something he did, and I always thought in my head canon was like he did that and it like made it worse or like
Sped it up.
something and it like advanced the issue or his father gave him something to make him worse. I don't really know, but I could be wrong. I'm totally wrong probably, but I don't know. Like yeah, but then second of all, I'm sorry, but the goblin disease is got to be the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I actually like the concept of the Osborns being cursed. I wish we saw more of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly wish that Harry wasn't in this film. I think it would be so much better. I wish that we saw Norman turn into, like, the ultimate goblin. Like,
Yeah.
that's what is going on.
Yeah, they just
'Cause-
didn't explore it enough. Like you're telling me there's like a demonist goblin.
No, I agree. Like, I want to
in
know
this world.
what is killing them.
Yeah, like and also there's nothing like that in this world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like in real life. Like and there's like diseases where your skin grows really fast and you
Mm-hmm.
kind of look like a lizard, no offense, but like not like to a point where you're growing like freaking claws and you know, like I know the lizard was like 2 years earlier. So
Well,
like
when I
yeah.
first watched it when I was younger, I thought that Norman was dying from getting, like, hit with the stuff from the first film.
Oh, from the
Yeah.
list. Yeah, that
Because they
that
make
could've
him
been
look so
fun.
much like a lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he does just. It's just weird. I don't really understand it.
I still
Is it
don't
from
understand it
something? Is it like
watching now.
adapted from a comic run that I haven't read or something? Like,
I
I could not tell you.
did they make that up? Like, I don't really know because I always like it as just like it's not an actual goblin. Like, it's just it's a super soldier serum that he takes, and like everyone else who seems to take it, like Red Skull and Abomination and all these characters, it goes wrong and it
something
drives you
happens.
crazy,
Yeah.
you know, and he just amplifies his aggressive traits, and then he wears a kick-ass Halloween costume and flies around on a glider and throws pumpkin bombs at people and shit. So I just think, you know, when you keep it to be purely a psychological disease and not like an actual disease,
Yeah.
or you could just make him into the ultimate goblin, like you said,
Right.
but not because it's a curse disease, which makes just no sense. It would have to come from some scientific, you know, something.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I do like about this Harry and Goblin in this film is that transformation scene where
Still
he
creeps
takes
me
the
out.
venom and then
With
he
his
starts.
back.
Oh my god, dude! It's so
I
eerie.
still can't watch it.
It's so
I'm
eerie
stupid,
and
I'm
horrifying.
It
It's
makes
so
me, it makes me uncomfortable.
yeah. Like I
So gross, bro. Ew,
I
bro.
think-
Like, why do they do that? It's
Well,
like
I
it's
think-
like this.
No,
or
no,
it's
no.
like this.
I hate it.
I think that scene is so eerie and horrifying. It really puts a fear aspect into Harry's Goblin, which is needed because if it was just Harry as Goblin, I would kind of just laugh.
Mhm.
But the fact that you see him like fully transform, and you know you literally see his back like expand and like all that. I'm just gonna keep bringing up his back expanding because I know it's it's scarring Steven.
I can't.
Dude,
I still can't
he
watch
looks like
it.
6'9", bro. Like when his teeth are like that. Like, dude, I've always like thought that. Like since because when he gets his teeth, it just he has those like just he has like fake
Actually, you know
teeth
what the
in him.
most confusing
He's
part
like,
about
"Ah,
his
yeah."
whole storyline is he's dying. So he takes the venom. Now he's dying faster. But he gets into the suit and there's a healing agent. Just get in the suit.
Well, that's
That-
fine.
That to me makes the most sense
Really?
because
Well, my whole thing is, what are you healing?
well,
The suit's like an advanced combat like
yeah,
like
I get that
homeostasis
part. I can
suit
level
or
with
some
that part.
shit.
But
And it's like it's trying to heal him, and it's like it's meant for soldiers who get probably like shot or like
But
something that
it
probably
ends up healing him because you see that shot where he's in the jail and he's back to normal.
yeah, but he's like the doctor's talking to him and he's like, "How's the disease?" And he's like,
Comes in waves.
"It's at bay." And he's like, "I'm putting together a team," and he's like, "Good." I'm like, "Jesus, dude! Like, Green Goblin's never barely in the Sinister Six. I mean, but that'll be interesting, I guess. I mean, they flopped that whole universe. Unfortunately, we're never gonna see anything. But I
They
mean,
were really teasing the Sinister Six,
they
I have
wanted to do
a
it in their
whole
third
part
movie.
about it.
and I really wish we got that third movie just so we could see the Sinister Six. Because you can see like the Doc Ock arms in the back, the
Vulture wings.
and stuff like that. Which all of that being funded by Oscorp and being mantled by Harry's Green Goblin would have been really, really fun to see.
Because what it would have been Doc Ock, Goblin, yeah, Rhino, the Vulture, and then who else?
Venom.
No, they can't. They could. That movie would have sucked, bro. That movie
They
would have
have
been
I think
absolutely atrocious.
when
Would it
he's
have
going
been
through the
Venom?
files, I'm pretty sure you could see Venom. Like it's a file name.
Bruh, like you can't like do that. Like, 'cause you can't. Like you can't. First of all, you can't have Venom. And first of all, Venom's like never in the Sinister Six. And even if you were gonna put him into it, like Venom's his own thing. Like he's his own beast. You need like Electro. Oh, Electro would have been in it, I guess. But Electro's
He
dead, right?
died,
Like
yeah.
at the end of this movie,
Yeah,
technically. So like yeah, so he wouldn't have even been in it. So you would have had like Mysterio, and then you can't just put Mysterio in that. Like just out
and
of
Oscorp funded Mysterio would have been very good.
would have been interesting. Yeah, but
Kind of like what we saw with Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, how it was like done with like the Stark Tech and stuff like that.
yeah, because then they could have had Sandman, but how would they even do Sandman? Like true Sinister Six, in my opinion, is Sandman, Rhino, Vulture, Doc Ock, and then Electro and Mysterio. I'd say that's probably like the big six.
I would put Scorpion in there.
Oh, you could put Scorpion instead of
Sandman.
no, I would say instead of who did I say first? Whatever. I'm tired, bro.
It's a Sinister
I've gotten
Seven.
4 hours of sleep in the last like 48 hours, bro.
The last thing before we give our reviews is just Gwen. She gets her conclusion in this film.
Rest in peace. All right, that's the episode. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, that's good. It's good, and they kept her dead too, which
They weren't going to, actually.
yeah, I know, but you know what? It's good that they ended the
She is
the
now.
duology because at least some characters stayed dead. And
Yeah, I would have loved to see a third movie, and it's just Peter going through his whole dilemma about how in this film his whole thing was to hold up Captain Stacy's promise of keeping Gwen out of it, and how he wasn't able to do that and it led to her dying. And I think that her dying is just a great combination of Spider-Man's life and Peter Parker's life coming together, and you see somebody that Peter Parker cares about dying because of Spider-Man.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's kind of how the last the No Way Home ended, right? Like the two worlds collide, and he has to sacrifice his life for, well, his life meaning like his like Peter Parker's life for Spider-Man, or for the world actually, but now it's just Spider-Man, and now it'll be interesting to explore that because I think that's where the third movie for this would have gone ultimately. Like you would have had him not pulling his punches, and you would have had him, in this dark state, and I think you said the symbiote maybe. That would have been cool as hell. bro, the symbiote always wants to come out later in the trilogies, doesn't he? Yeah, which is good. But it's like that would have been an aspect of the film, and I think now we're gonna see that. Maybe not the symbiote now, but still the just the rampage and like the you know more or less laid back Spider-Man, which would be cool to
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my thoughts about Gwen, I'll give in my rating and ranking because
Do we want to get to that? I guess.
yeah, we can move right into that. I guess I feel like I haven't gone first in a while. I'll go
I
first
think
then.
that you should. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll start with the rating of. I know it's high. I know it's high. 7.2. Because this film was my favorite for the longest time. I just think, as I mentioned, the Harry storyline is really what does this film so much damage. I don't think it works. I think it's rushed. I honestly don't even really think it's needed. I think the reason they put him in is because they wanted a head figure at Oscorp, which could have been done with someone else, and they wanted to do the Gwen storyline, which I think could have been done with Norman. So I think that really, because the first, literally until you see Harry and Peter interact, I think this film is so good. Then you see that I think that the conversations between Harry and Peter are awkward. I think that Harry's awkward. I think it just doesn't work for me at all. But like for the rest of the film, though, I think, like we said, I think this is such a great Peter. I think Andrew does a great job at being Peter. Spider-Man with all his comebacks while he's fighting. The whole scene with the elevator and the closet, I think probably one of my favorite scenes of all Spider-Man films. I think it is so fun. I think it's done perfectly. The banter, the just everything of that is so much fun to me. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, literally, to me, every aspect where Harry isn't involved, I have something amazing to say. Like Electro's fight scene. Literally every time I go to Times Square and I see those red stairs, I'm like a child again. I'm like, oh my god, Spider-Man fought there. And that slow-mo scene of the electricity going up the stairs plays in my head every single time. I can't say enough good things about this film, which is why it hurts so much that Harry and his story hurts it that much, because it really is, it just ruins it to me so much.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk about Gwen real quick. Obviously, she's probably my favorite character in this series. Definitely top 5 in Spider-Man. I think the way they wrote her, everything is just so perfect. And when I see her in that outfit, after she does that interview, I just have an immediate sinking feeling, which I think goes to show how well the third act is written for both films, honestly, too. I think the third act always carries. And I think that being, however, over 10 years old now, I know how this film goes. I know everything. And to still watch it 2 days ago and get those kind of feelings when you see her in that outfit and you just know what's going to happen, I think that really goes to show the writing that is done. Yeah. And it still hurts when I see her die. It's not fun. But I think the way it's done is beautiful. The silence, you just hear the breathing, you just hear the metal, and then that silence is continued as you watch the seasons change of Peter standing there at her grave. Yeah. So yeah, like summing it up, like I said, I can't say enough good things about it, but I can't not address the huge storyline that ruins it for me. I probably just talked for so much.
No, you're good. Ben, if you want to go.
So, kind of contradicting Steven here. The big thing that kills it for me is actually the Richard Parker storyline, which kind of but I feel like it's just so dragged out. It doesn't need to be as, such a big part of the film as it actually is. I feel like the awkward scenes with Peter and Harry make sense because when Peter shows up to comfort Harry after Norman dies, you can kind of tell that it's been such a long time since they've seen each other. So I feel like that kind of does make sense. There is one scene with Gwen that to this day I hate, and it's the scene when Peter shows up for dinner and Gwen's like, "You don't break up with me, I break up with you." That kind of irks my soul a little bit, because her of all people should know that he's just trying to protect her. So that scene in itself with Gwen is kind of like, kind of hurts the character for me. But I love the chemistry between Peter and Gwen in this film. The whole "I love you" on the bridge and stuff like that right before the Electro fight is perfect. It's totally something Peter would do as a character. And you see them all like, when they like quote unquote are like getting back together, and they have that whole scene in the park where they get ice cream and stuff like that. It's such a good scene for their chemistry. Electra being blue, it's whatever. It still works. I do love Jamie Foxx's performance in this film. In fact, I will stand on the fact that I've never seen a film that Jamie Foxx is in that I didn't like. I think he's a great actor. He's a jack of all trades. He does acting, he does music, he does it all. Plus he does like commercials for like FanDuel or whatever now. But I personally adore this film just because of how much it is Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's not favored to one side or the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's both, and both iterations that Andrew Garfield does of Peter Parker and Spider-Man are very comic accurate. And plus the visuals and action scenes, I can't talk about it enough, are just so stunning and so well done, which is why I'm giving this film an 8.2.
Wow. I was not expecting that. I was like preparing myself for like, whoa. Okay.
All
I'm
right.
happy.
I guess I'll go. I'll have a little less to say about it, but yeah, I think this movie has a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows. I think there's some scenes that are just really funny, like you were talking about the stairs before, and it just bothers me because they're all running up the stairs, but those stairs lead to nothing. So like, why are you running up the stairs? And then like, I don't know, just stuff like that. It's just like, it's whatever. It's like does whatever. But like, I just think the chemistry and acting between Harry and Peter is a little screwed up. I think Harry, I mean, uh, DeHaan is a good actor. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's just maybe it wasn't the right part for him, or maybe he just needed more time to, really capture the essence of Harry Osborn. Um, I think Andrew Garfield carries the movie. He's really fun still, really entertaining as both Peter and Spider-Man. Um, and then Alexei Sisevich or whatever is just stupid. Like, I'm sorry, he's like actually just not. It's like a mustache twirling villain, but whatever. And then Spider-Man just not stopping the truck like during that, just like okay, like he's just letting more chaos ensue by just cracking jokes and stuff, which is like fine. Like that's Spider-Man, but like he also doesn't do it when, the villain is driving a freaking 18-wheeler down like like down a main street of New York, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just I don't know, but it's fine. And yeah, ultimately the scene at the end gets me like Order 66 does. Like it's really good. Like it gets me in the heartstrings. Like I feel that every time. Like I may crack
I
a
still
tear.
tear up.
Yeah, 100%. But there is some stuff in this movie that is stupid and like I
Mm-hmm.
just can't get over. And if I'm showing this to someone, I'm gonna cringe at some points, or I'm gonna, like just clench my fists a little hard and be like, "Ugh, this is a little awkward to watch with somebody." But whatever, it's fine. It's not as nothing's as bad as Attack of the Clones. But you know, I mean, like the Anakin and Padme scenes, dude. Come on, get out of here. they kill me, bro. They're so cringy.
That's a debate for another day.
I know whatever, but like ultimately, if I have to give it a rating, I gave the last film a 6. Off screen, I gave it a 6. I'd have to give this a 5.5 probably.
Dang.
So, yeah. And you're not gonna like what I have to say about No Way Home either, but
Oh, now I'm panicking.
Now I'm intrigued.
yeah.
One more thing I'll say about this film, and such a small detail, I love how they incorporate the Spider-Man theme song.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was
It's
cool.
his ringtone, and he's whistling
He's
it
whistling
in
it,
the
yep.
beginning when he's fighting Alexi. I love it. It's such a small detail, but it's just perfect.
And then Electro at the power grid with Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So good.
And oh god, I love when Peter realizes it's a song and he's just like, I hate this song.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. It's just funny.
Yeah,
And-
those tiny details,
Yeah.
make such a difference.
Yeah. And then there's only 2 movies for this one. Me and Ben are both putting 2 above 1. Ben gave 1 a 5.3, and then this one a 8.2. I gave 1 a 6.8, and then this one a 7.2. Mike, you are putting 1 above 2 with a 6 out of 10 for 1, you said, and a 5.5 out of 10 for 2. So I think that was... Oh no, last time we were all different orders.
We were.
So this one, 2 of us are on the same page. And then to kind of wrap up this whole trilogy quickly, just one question I think is interesting. What do you think Aunt May knew that he was Peter?
I hope she knew that. He was
I
Peter.
think she knew.
Yeah.
I
But
think
Spider-Man, yeah, I don't know.
I think she had her speculations, and she had bits and pieces, but I don't think she definitively knew. I think the one scene that sticks out when we talk about this is the laundry scene,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, everything red and blue. He's like, I was washing the American flag,
You don't
and then
watch the
also the scene where he's laying in bed and his face is all
Yes.
and he's like, I was cleaning the chimney, and she's like, we don't have a chimney. Like, I feel like she
He's
definitely
like,
had
What?
she definitely had evidence towards it, but I don't think we ever see her land on that realization and connecting the dots fully. But also I feel like Aunt May kind of we really only see her at home.
Yeah. Although I do... It's like a little cheesy for sure, but I just always like just a heartwarming moment of when she's in the hospital and the power goes out, and then it goes back on, and she's like, we're back. I was like, okay.
yeah,
It's just
I
like
like
a
that.
cheesy Aunt May kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I think the ambiguity about her knowing or not is also fun because,
Yeah.
like, one thing about the Home trilogy is that, like, once she knew, I feel like the
That
whole,
was
like,
her character, was that she knew.
Yeah.
yeah, and, like, it was just like, bro. And then that's why it was so easy to tell the whole world that he was Spider-Man because it was just like, well, the whole world to him already kind of knows. So, like his whole world,
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's just the public knowing at this point? Because everyone knows who everybody is in superheroes. And Spider-Man, like, his whole point of, like, being is his struggle to find a balance between his both identities. And when people know he's Spider-Man, it's so easy to just be like, oh, okay, but he's just gonna go save the city. So, like, there's no reason for him. I'm not gonna be mad at him for missing my dance or
Yeah.
my performance, for MJ in the first. Like that's like the whole like his whole dilemma of Spider-Man 2 is like she thinks he's an asshole because he's Spider-Man, but she doesn't know he's Spider-Man. She just thinks he's an asshole.
Yeah, for
You know,
always
and,
ditching.
like,
Yep.
And when May finds out, it's like, dude, like now I mean it was a funny comedy gag at the end, of Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna let that take away from Homecoming, but like, it's just like I don't know. It's like really like she shouldn't have found out. So I think this May not knowing, but like you're not 100% sure, you know. And she kind of I always like I think there's like an issue where she's where what was it? Was it in the game? Because I didn't play the game, so I know kind of the story of the game. I don't remember for sure.
She knows in the game.
Spoilers. Okay. There's something where she is dying and she
Mm-hmm.
pretty much tells him,
Let
I
me
knew
see
your
my nephew.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think that was really cool.
I
And
think
you
that
don't
is
need to know that she
the
knows.
same kind of thing they were going for here. I think she 100% knew. She just didn't,
Kept
for
it to
some
herself.
reason, want to say it. Or maybe it was hard for her to, like, because when she said it, she admits that that's her nephew going out there doing all those things every single day,
It's
kind of
kind of a
thing.
hard thing to even have a conversation about,
Yeah.
honestly.
Because
Because
how
like
can you tell him to stop doing that?
you first of all you can't because technically the whole Ben thing like with great power, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it is his responsibility. Like in my opinion, like he owes that,
Mm.
to himself, but also to the world because he has the ability to stop these things from happening, and he needs to, you know, it's almost like, you know, you don't have to be kind, but be good kind of thing. And like
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to ultimately like that's why I love Spider-Man so much ultimately is because like he at the core of it all is like just a good person, and like it just he has to do it. It's like it's just in his like code, you know what I'm saying, to do
Mhm.
that, and he has to. And she knows that's his role. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's his purpose. And she doesn't have to say anything. That's the whole point. Like she doesn't have to because she knows he's doing good by Ben, you know.
Yeah. And to kind of close it all out, I think this is, in my opinion, I'm not 100% sure, but definitely right now, my favorite kind of dynamic between Peter and Aunt May. This is
I
definitely
agree.
something I could see. Like I have a dynamic within my family. It's just so wholesome to me. I really like it.
Yeah.
But then to wrap up, just some kind of fallout of what happened here into the MCU transition. Before, again, 2 was released, in June of 2013, Sony Pictures announced the release date for 2 more Spider-Man films. One of them in 2016, and then one in 2018. Sony had plans to create an entire kind of universe with Spider-Man that would go against the MCU. There was a Sinister Six film scheduled for release that was going to come out before The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And then there was more. This is where it kind of like starts to fall apart because Shailene Woody was having a lot of scheduling conflicts because of Divergent. This is kind of out of order. Rhino was confirmed to
Divergent was
return.
fire, by the way. Divergent movies are actually fucking good.
Rhino was confirmed to return. That's obvious. I feel like though with the ending. The third film was pretty much on lock. The fourth, however, Webb and Andrew were unsure of their involvement in the fourth film. Then eventually, the 2016 release date for Spider-Man 3 was delayed till 2018. And then kind of more storyline focused for 3, which to me, like reading all this, I think what happened was Sony was super ambitious and they let that get ahead of them. And that's why this all fell apart. Because for the third film, they were going to use Gwen's corpse to fuse with the Venom symbiote and create Carnage and be like the 6th member of the Sinister Six.
What?
The symbiote suit was confirmed by Webb to be in the third film, planning to make this Spider-Man more scary and a little more grounded, similar to the first film, but have this symbiote be a kind of take on a more scary Spider-Man, which I would have really enjoyed seeing. I think that would have been the only thing of this film I would have enjoyed seeing.
Yeah.
But then ultimately, just a lot of more things kept falling apart. And then February of 2015 is when Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures made their new deal where Marvel can bring a new Spider-Man into their universe first with one of their own films, which is Civil War, and then a trilogy. And then after that, pretty much everything just got canceled for that planned universe that Sony was going to create. So I just think they got really ambitious, which I think you could kind of tell in the second film.
Too ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to use Gwen's corpse to do
To create
Carnage?
Carnage. I would have been so mad. Yeah. They were just trying to get as many characters, honestly, I think.
Listen,
People just have ideas. Doesn't mean you should share them.
Stay there.
how
Yeah, it's interesting.
the absolute hell were they gonna pull that off? Were the Sinister Six gonna discover the symbiote and then dig up Gwen's body, and then
And why Gwen?
right? Not only that, but also, doesn't the symbiote have to attach to a live host?
Yeah.
Like that would have contradicted the entire thing of a
Wait a
symbiote.
bit.
At least to my knowledge, it has to be a live
That's
host.
crazy.
Well, also, I think that they would have gone with the route of Oscorp creating this kind of symbiote and less alien. If that, I don't think
I
it
don't
really
wa-
changes anything.
I don't like that. I like the whole alien thing.
I think that Oscorp creating it would have worked for this universe.
Yeah,
I do prefer the alien storyline, though. It makes more
Yeah.
sense.
but Gwen being Carnage,
I mean, honestly, if this film did come out and when it came out, and because of how I convinced myself that they buried Gwen alive, so I would be like, oh, Gwen's back. But like now, being like more mature, it would have been
Right.
such a huge mess that it's really just a good thing it didn't happen.
yeah. See, like I want Andrew, always want Andrew to get his third film, but I don't want him to get
Not this.
Not that.
that.
That would have just been sinister slop. Is what
I
I'm-
don't even think a Sinister Six movie can be good.
I see that I could see
Because
it being good if Sony doesn't do it right now. Because Sony villain movies are kind of ass. There's no other way to put it. They're trash. The only good one that they put out was the first Venom.
Mhm.
Venom 2 was a snooze fest. Venom 3 was aight. But Morbius was awful. Madam Web, awful. Craven, didn't even touch it, but from what I heard, horrible. But we all know that that's just a contract rights thing that they got to do. I feel like a Sinister Six film, if done properly, would actually be very interesting. But I don't know if it needs a whole film. I feel like it could be a subplot of a Spider-Man film.
that's yeah.
All right. Well,
That wraps up our Amazing Spider-Man 2 review, as well as Andrew Garfield's run. Quick little run
and
of
episode
Spider-Man.
5 of FOS. So
Yeah.
And then
Next
thank
we
you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for
we
joining
get,
us again today.
Yeah, next week we officially dive into the MCU, which I cannot wait. I am excited to bring all that in. As always, you can listen and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Make sure you guys are following us on social media with some form of the FOS podcast for clips throughout the week. Thank you guys for tuning in for yet another episode, and we'll catch y'all next Friday at 10, just like every other Friday. Peace.